What gives here? Shower-proof dresses? Putty that bounces? What is this? Silicones. Silicones are a remarkable recent development, a great step forward in the science of chemistry. Now, the atoms that make up all materials are so infinitesimally tiny that even with man's most powerful microscope, they cannot actually be seen. But for accretion, we can join certain atoms together to form a typical or symbolized molecule of the kind that makes up the ordinary organic substances we've known and used for many years. Notice that the carbon atom forms the backbone of these ordinary materials. One form of carbon is coal, and coal, of course, burns very easily. So when science wanted to find new synthetic materials that would have the desirable properties of older materials, but would not burn easily, they made use of common sand, the silicon and oxygen that makes up more than 3/4 of the Earth's crust. So by replacing the carbon atoms in our typical molecule with silicon atoms, an entirely new field of industry was created, with a basic chemistry all its own, the silicones industry. Here is a new group of new materials that will not only stand up under extreme heat, but will also resist extreme cold, and at the same time remain fluid without thickening. Of course, this makes it all seem so simple. Say, Dr. Miller, what kind of silicone mixture is that?
This? Oh, this is just a little polydimethyl siloxane.
Uh-huh. Well, Mame, one little atom switch in life can really get pretty complicated in a modern research laboratory. At the plant near the little town of Waterford, New York, where silicone materials are produced, raw materials, all derived from sand, oil, coal, and brine, are mixed in exactly the correct proportions. They go round and up and down. And operations here aren't exactly what you'd call simple either. But eventually the materials come out ready for further processing into many forms of silicone products. Oils, resins, greases, rubber, molded plastics. Complex compounds for making life simpler. Because silicone fluid, for instance, will withstand a lot of heat, it makes possible a dependable lubricant for the automatic cooking timer and for the clock on the range. Because it stays resilient under extremes of heat and cold, silicone rubber makes a better gasket for use on a pressure cooker. And it's used to cushion and weather strip this double-glazed window. And here, at long last, is the very peak of modern progress. Oh, has this ever happened to you? Especially in those quaint, slant-floored old tea rooms where George Washington did practically all of his sleeping? Well, finally, the era of the rickety, tippy tea table is over, thanks to a new furniture leveling device in which a simple spring and a little cup of silicone putty automatically level any piece of furniture. Now, even if it's adobe lunchrooms in the West, the kind where you get red-hot chili and chili red-hots, your table will stand staunch, well-balanced, firm, and graceful. Silicone resins are being developed to supplement and add to the paint, varnish, and enamel ingredients we've been using over a period of years. Progress is being made in the direction of lifetime finishes for dairy and hospital equipment, laundry and kitchen appliances. Tested on, say, electric ranges, silicone enamel keeps its color and gloss, remains unchanged even after being in a temperature of 480 degrees for more than 1,000 hours. Other tests show that silicone resins help protective coatings to resist the effects of acids, iodine, alcohol, mercurochrome, animal fats, fruit juices, alkalis, India ink, and the weather. So the day may not be far away when automotive finishes will be something new under the sun that will stay new under the sun, and under the effects of ice, salt, fumes, and storms for year after year after year. The petroleum oil we use in our cars has always had a tendency to foam up when it gets hot and agitated in the crankcase, transmission, or differential, as demonstrated in this laboratory setup. But the addition of even 1 part of a special silicone fluid to 1,000,000 parts of ordinary oil practically eliminates foaming, and the oil does a better job of lubrication. Another silicone fluid is now being used to reduce vibration in automobiles by serving as a viscous or fluid damper on the crankshaft of the engine. In the world of sport, a new silicone center is being put into golf balls. This new center, along with a new type of winding, will add distance and bounce and bound to your... Well, anyway, a silicone-centered ball will give you a little more yardage. Another form of the material can be used to improve windshield visibility and to repel water and moisture on camera lenses and other optical equipment. The silicones have brought improvements in the field of medicine, too. Because the inside of this hypodermic syringe has been silicone treated, the clotting time of the blood sample is extended, so better blood tests can be made. And the so-called bouncing putty is valuable in therapeutics. Certain silicone compounds are used to protect aircraft radio and other electrical equipment from moisture condensation when coming down from high altitudes. In airplane hydraulic control systems, silicone fluids won't thin out, even at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And they won't thicken when it's as cold as 90 degrees below zero. In the form of rubber, the new material has long life as gasketing in powerful radial engines and in jet engines, because here it really gets hotter than hot. By far the greatest use of silicones is in industry. One of these electric coils contains a strip of mica laminated with standard temperature varnish. The other holds a strip bonded with silicone varnish. When an excessive current is turned on, the first strip is ruined, while the silicone protected strip is unharmed. This means that silicone-treated electric motors can operate in hotter locations, or can be built smaller when this is necessary, for installation where space is limited. Day by day, applications too numerous to mention are constantly being found. Here, silicone emulsions act as a mold release agent, saving time and expense, and making possible improved products. Switchboard panels that defy heat, gasketing in industrial X-ray equipment, and countless other important uses. And so, although life's little annoyances will probably go on happening at just the wrong moments, the silicones may well bring us new ways of overcoming them, as well as new comforts and conveniences we haven't even thought of yet. For just as the chemistry of carbon has brought us almost limitless progress, so does the chemistry of silicon promise us a fascinating and eventful excursion in science, a science of new opportunity and achievement, the science of the silicone.